Good morning from the lookout. It's a beautiful day here. It's a beautiful day to be grateful to God for beautiful days and for sunshine and no breeze. It's kind of chilly, but as long as I'm standing in the sun, it's pretty good. If my audio is off, I checked it over and over and it sounded like it was only going on to one side. I apologize about that. I'll keep working on it, okay? But I think I got at least one side, so that's good news. Okay, we are on day 102, and we're starting with Ephesians chapter 5, verses 1 and 2, and 8 and 10, 8 to 10, okay. Imitate God, therefore, in everything you do, because you are His dear children. Live a life filled with love, following the example of Christ. He loved us and offered Himself as a sacrifice for us, a pleasing aroma to God. 8 to 10. For once you were full of darkness, but now you have light from the Lord. So live as people of light. For this light, His light, Christ's light, for this light within you produces only what is good and right and true. Carefully determine what pleases the Lord. Okay, all right, such good verses, such good things for us to think about today. All right, we are in Joshua chapter 5 through 7. If you're following along in your one-year Bible, we're on April the 12th, okay? So Joshua 5 to 7. After Israel crosses the Jordan, God instructs Joshua that he is to have every male circumcised, and Joshua obeys, okay? And following their obedience, God says to Joshua in chapter 5, verse 9, He says, Then the Lord said to Joshua, Today I have rolled away the shame of your slavery in Egypt. So that place has been called Gilgal till this day. So through that act of obedience, God rolled away their shame, the shame of their slavery in Egypt. Now, so before God would allow them to move forward, He required the people to complete this act of obedience before they could move forward with taking over the promised land, right? Now, did you notice in Ephesians 5:10 where it says, carefully determine what pleases the Lord? Because my mind always goes on with, and then do it. Carefully determine what pleases the Lord, and then do it. Okay, don't just figure it out and go, oh, that's what He'd want me to do. Boy, that'd be a good thing if I'd do that. No, just go ahead and obey. Just go ahead and do it. Okay, all right. Now, sometimes we treat God as if He is indifferent to our obedience. But no, God takes it very seriously. We'll see evidence after the fall of Jericho. For along with God's plan of collapsing the walls by supernatural means, He told them there was this point of obedience they needed to pay attention to. Chapter 6, verses 18 and 19. He said, Do not take any of the things set apart for destruction, or you yourselves will be completely destroyed, and you will bring trouble on the camp of Israel. Everything made from silver, gold, bronze, or iron is sacred to the Lord and must be brought into His treasury. Okay? So after Jericho falls, then they move on to the next town, and they make a failed attempt to conquer this much, much smaller town. The leaders said, oh, it'll only take 2,000 or 3,000 of us to conquer this town. After they fail, chapter 7, verses 4 to 12. See if I can get my page turned here. Chapter 7, 4 to 12. So approximately 3,000 warriors were sent, but they were soundly defeated. The men of Ai chased the Israelites from the town gate as far as the quarries, and they killed about 36 who were retreating down the slope. The Israelites were paralyzed with fear at this turn of events, and their courage melted away. Joshua and the elders of Israel tore their clothing in dismay, threw dust on their heads, and bowed face down to the ground before the ark of the Lord until evening. Then Joshua cried out, "O sovereign Lord, why did you bring us across the Jordan River if you're going to let the Amorites kill us? If only we had been content to stay on the other side. Lord, what can I say now that Israel has fled from its enemies? For when the Canaanites and all the other people living in the land hear about it, they will surround us and wipe our name off the face of the earth. And what will happen to the honor of your great name?" Oh. But the Lord said to Joshua, "Get up. Why are you lying on your face like this? Israel has sinned and broken my covenant. They have stolen some of the things that I commanded must be set apart for me, and they have not only stolen them, but have lied about it and hidden the things among their own belongings. That is why the Israelites are running from their enemies in defeat. For now Israel has been set apart for destruction. I will not remain with you any longer unless you destroy the things that were set apart for destruction." Remember just a couple of days ago, God said to Joshua, and the people said to Joshua, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be discouraged or afraid. Be strong and very courageous." And at this sin, even Joshua's courage melts away. Now, the enemy tries to deceive us today by saying that a little sin won't really matter. God doesn't really care. And the people in our lives won't really be affected. How about this lie? You ever heard this one? It sounds like good rationale after all. Sounds like a good excuse anyway. What I'm doing won't hurt anybody but me. Or what I do in the privacy of my own house is none of your business. How about that one? And you and I know, we know that this is a lie from Satan. In Joshua's case, the entire nation and Joshua himself is affected, and 36 people died because of this sin. Whew. Well, tomorrow we'll find out more. Okay, hang on. We'll find out more tomorrow. Please take the Lord seriously. Please obey the Lord. Okay? He takes it seriously. Now, in Luke 15, once again, the religious know-it-alls complain. Isn't that amazing? The religious know-it-alls know it all, and so all they do is complain to Jesus. All right, verses 1 and 2 of chapter 15. Tax collectors and other notorious sinners often came to listen to Jesus teach. This made the Pharisees and teachers of religious law complain that he was associating with such sinful people, even eating with them. Can you imagine? Jesus hangs out with and even eats with sinners. And he tells them about God's kingdom. He's teaching, and they're coming to hear his teaching. So this leads to 3 stories that Jesus will tell in order to demonstrate God's amazing love for the spiritually lost. First, a shepherd leaves 99 sheep to search for and find the one that is lost. And when it is found, 15:5-7. And when he has found it, the sheep, he will joyfully carry it home on his shoulders. When he arrives, he will call together his friends and neighbors, saying, "Rejoice with me, because I have found my lost sheep." In the same way, there is more joy in heaven over one lost sinner who repents and returns to God than over 99 others who are righteous and haven't strayed away. Not putting down those who haven't strayed away, but he's saying there is joy over finding the one who is lost. Okay? Rejoicing over one wandering sheep. Then a woman loses one silver coin. She has 10 and loses one. Well, what's the big deal? She still has 9. She searches the whole house until she finds it. And again in 5 verse 10, in the same way there is joy, her joy of finding the coin. In the same way there is joy in the presence of God's angels when even one sinner repents. Rejoicing. Rejoicing, joy. Now, finally, this last story. Finally, a father loses his youngest son to greed and partying, and possibly his older son to bitter obedience. Listen as the younger son comes home in 15:18-24. The younger son says, "I will go home to my father and say, 'Father, I have sinned against both heaven and you, and I am no longer worthy of being called your son. Please take me on as a hired servant.' So he returned home to his father, and while he was still a long way off, his father saw him coming. Filled with love and compassion, he ran to his son, embraced him, and kissed him. His son said to him, 'Father, I've sinned against both heaven and you, and I'm no longer worthy to be called your son.' But his father said to the servants, 'Quick, bring the finest robe in the house and put it on him. Get a ring for his finger and sandals for his feet, and kill the calf we've been fattening. We must celebrate with a feast, for this son of mine was dead and has now returned to life. He was lost, but now he is found.' So the party began." Rejoicing. But then the father goes to the older son, 15:25-32. Meanwhile, the older son was in the fields working. When he returned home, he heard music and dancing in the house. He asked one of the servants what was going on. "Your brother is back," he was told. "And your father has killed the fattened calf. We are celebrating because of his safe return." The older brother was angry and wouldn't go in. His father came out and begged him, but he replied, "All these years I've slaved for you and never once refused to do a single thing you told me. And in all that time, you never gave me even one young goat for a feast with my friends. Yet when this son of yours comes back after squandering your money on prostitutes, you celebrate by killing the fattened calf." His father said to him, "Look, dear son, you have always stayed by me. You've always stayed by me, and everything I have is yours. We had to celebrate this happy day, for your brother was dead and has come back to life. He was lost, but now he is found." Jesus' story does not let us know how the older son responds to his father's pleading. So lost people matter to Jesus and to God, and they are worth searching for and worth welcoming to a banquet table. And Jesus uses these stories to tell the religious know-it-alls why he is willing to be seen with and even eat with sinners. Could it be that Jesus tells the story to help these religious leaders to realize they are acting as the older brother, lost in bitter obedience, with no love or rejoicing over the things that matter to God. May we rejoice about the things that matter to our Heavenly Father when the lost is found, when that lost person comes home. May we rejoice. May we be seen talking with and telling others, those outside the kingdom, about the kingdom of God. And rejoice when one comes home. Oh, let's do it. Let's be full of joy. All right. Now, Psalm 81:13 says, "Oh, that my people would listen to me. Oh, that Israel would follow me, walking in my paths." And Proverbs 13:1, "A wise child accepts a parent's discipline. A mocker refuses to listen to correction." I'm sorry I've gone a little long today. May God bless you. May God help you to rejoice today. May God help you to carefully determine what He wants you to do, and then may you have the courage to do it. God bless you.